Let us understand today how to create table, add foreign key, and how to make a primary key table and how to make a foreign key based table. Okay, how to establish relationship between the tables. Before that, I just would like to introduce how to create users and how to work with that users. Okay, so we'll see user creation and granting privilege to users. Consider I just say here connect. There's one user one and password is say admin. I can also connect like this. It's saying connected. Now I want to create user. So simply we write create user. I just say username and username I say Isaac. Okay. Identified by. So what will the password? And I want password should be pass. Okay. Enter. What it is saying? Identified by. Okay. So just say identify by here pass. Insufficient privilege means this user one is not authorized to create users. Okay, so let us log out from this means disconnect this session. So I say disconnect. Okay, disconnected. Now I will connect with system user sys user slash password is admin. Okay, enter. So this time I connected with system user. You want to say the user, just say here so user. So user is system, right? Now I want to create the user now. Create user Isaac, identify by pass. User created. Because system user is having that privilege. Okay. Now I want to disconnect again. But once user is created, let us disconnect it. Now try to connect with this user. What user? Isaac and password is pass. User Isaac lacks create session privilege. So I cannot connect it, right? So you have to give a connect permissions or create session permission. So we'll go back to the system user and we'll say give the permission to this guy, right? So connected, and now we can say grant create session permission. Okay, create session comma, you want to give more alter, say I can say here alter session or some kind of yeah, let me just alter session unlimited. Look it now, unlimited table space. Okay, and then I can say this user will have a permission for create table, create view. Okay, create say materialize view, realized view. Okay, create procedure, all I can give here, and create sequence. Okay, create synonyms, right? Create trigger, create type. Okay, to whom I want to give Isaac guy. Okay, semicolon. So grant succeeded, right? Now we can also grant here, say grant connect and resource to Isaac guy. Okay, so granted. Now, so all the permissions, all the privileges I granted to the user, right? You want to, so currently I have a system user. Now I'll disconnect, okay, and say this time connect with Isaac slash what pass. You want to see the user, who is that? So user. So user is Isaac, right? So we understood how to create user and how to assign or grant privilege to user, right? Well, let us understand how to create table here with this user. So it's very simple. I can just say create table, consider imply, okay, or we can take simple one, item, okay, open it, say item number, or I can say item ID, int. You want to give primary key and foreign key in this? What you will do here? You have to say constant, right? You have to give a constant, constant name you can apply. So just say create table item, item ID, int, or instead of int you can use here number, say size is 4, and then I can say constant, constant, give a constant name, say pk, and then I say primary key, okay, comma, then I can say item descriptions. What is that? I can say varchar 2, size is 20, and it should be not null. So simply you can write here not null, means you have to give item name. You want quantity on hand, just give quantity on hand here, okay, and then say int. You can use number here also. You want to give a constant, just say constant here, constant, constant name q o h c, okay, quantity on hand constant, check constant, check what, quantity on hand should be greater than 5 always, okay, comma. So item ID, quantity on hand, item descriptions. Now let us say price. What is a price? So price I can use int here. Same constant we can apply here also, right? And then we can have some other column, total also, right? So let us say total, and this is int, bracket close. So table created, right? You want to see the table here? Just say select star from item. No records. Let us insert the record. Insert into item values. First values is what? Item ID. Say it is 1. Item description, say here fonts. Quantity on hand 90. Price say 100. Total I don't know, we'll try later 0. One record inserted. If I try to insert this record again, it is saying that unique constant, the pk which I have created here, Isaac pk, I mean primary key constant, which is getting violated. So you cannot insert 1 again, right? Now let us say this time I say the 2, and here I say Lakme. I want 80 quantity. Price is 90, 0. Now once you say select a star from item, you'll get this record, right? So you're able to view item ID, item descriptions, quantity on hand, price and total, right? So I have just 3 records. Now there is another way to insert the record. What you do here, this time just write at the rate, sorry, ampersand A, comma, ampersand B. So you can give that, but better you write like this, item ID, ampersand, descriptions, ampersand, quantity on hand, ampersand, price, ampersand, total. Okay, enter. So it will ask enter value for item ID. Say this is 3. Descriptions, say it is a Lakme. You can put in a single quotes here. Quantity on hand, say 50. Price 90, 0. So one row created, right? Again you want to insert, just press enter. Select this and say enter. Item ID is 4. Description, say this time something white beauty. Okay, or I just say gold, something like golden. Okay, like that. 80, and price is say this, total 0. So record is inserted. So instead of writing that, we can also use ampersand here. So now we are having 4 records here, right? So understood the insert statement here, how to insert the record. Now suppose I want to update this total now, what we'll do here. So we can use update command here, update item set what, total equal to quantity on hand multiply by price, semicolon. All the record will get updated. So 4 rows updated here. You can see right now total is 0. Now just say select a star from item and check your total. So all total has been calculated, right? You're getting here this block. Okay, so we have seen the insert, select, update, delete. Let us say delete now. So delete we can do delete from item where, if I just give semicolon from item, after from item, all the records will get deleted. So you can say where item ID equal to 4. I want to record that I want to delete that record where item ID is a 4. One row deleted. Check your record. So 3 record is left. Let us insert the record now, or not a problem. We'll have this much only, okay? So we understood how to create users, how to provide privilege to the users, how to connect, disconnect, right? How to see the user or current user, and how to create tables here with primary key. Now, so we have item table now. What we'll do now next, we'll create another table. Say here create table, sales table. Okay, open it, and I'll say here sales ID. It is an integer. It should be say primary key. So I can say constant spk. Okay, sales ID pk. constant spk primary key. Well, now this cells is for which item id, so I'll be referring here item id. It should be number 4, right, which I've assigned there. Now here it should have a constant of I I can say it should have a foreign key for the item table. That only item is selected here which is existing in the item table. So item ID number 4, constant fk1, right? Sfk1 you can go give cells foreign key. What? References. References with whom? Item table, item ID, right? So this should always have a reference with the item table, item ID here, and then it should have a quantity, how much quantity you want to sell here. So quantity I can say int, or you can just use number also, say quantity number 5, okay. And then price, say number 6 digit, okay. And then say total here int, I can use here some kind of taxes and all, okay. And total amount or grant, something we can do here, right? I just close it here itself. So table created. Now let us try to insert the record. Insert into cells values, right? So first value is what? Ampersand. I say SID, cells ID, ampersand item ID, ampersand quantity, ampersand price, ampersand total, ampersand tax. Okay, close it. So it is asking SID. SID is one first cell, or say 101 you want to start. Which item ID you want to sell? So item ID 2 I want to sell, quantity 2, price whatever, total is whatever here, right? Tax is 90. Enter. Similarly, I can insert another record here, and this time I say sales is 102. I want to sell item ID 4. The 4 has been deleted, right? Now quantity is 4, price is something, total is this, tax is 80. Can you notice that integrity constant sfpk1 sf yeah sfk1 violated, parent key not found. So you are inserting the record item ID 4 which is not there here in the item table, so you cannot insert, and that's the function of the foreign key, right? So what you can do, we'll try again here and say 102 item ID 3. This time I want to sell this one. So quantity, anything, right? So inserted. Now we can say select star from cells. We can check that. So two record has been inserted where item ID 2 and 3 has been sold, right? So this should be unique. This should be always matching with the item table only. So here 1, 2, 3. Only this 3 item only I can sell, isn't it? So here you understood how to create primary key and how to create foreign key here, right? How to create a check constant also. Like, okay, let us try with the check constant, and I just say here insert okay, let us try this one. In the item table, you remember I created item table here and I given the check constant for quantity on hand that it should be greater than 5. Let me try to enter the quantity on hand. Say item ID 4 and say here gold. I say quantity on hand is 2, price is 100 and 0. See, check constant QOHC violated. I'm not following this constant. So if I'm inserting the quantity on hand, it should be always more than 5. So I can say 6, insert it, isn't it? So select a star from item. That is the benefit of creating constant, that you can limit the values, you can restrict the values the user has entered. Okay. So you understood this. Let us say I want to add some column in this table or in my item table. Let us try alter table, item table, add what column? Say here reorder quantity, which is in type. Okay, table altered. You want to see the table now? Just say select a star from item. So you can notice here one new column has been added in the table ROQ, reorder quantity. You want to describe, just say describe item here. So all the columns is getting displayed and null not null type displaying here, right? If you write here complete describe, also fine, it will display describe, right? So you can use DSC or describe. So during alter table, you can drop the RQ, just say drop column, column name, it will drop the column. So we understood how to add and how to drop the column here, right? You can drop the table, you can simply write drop table, table name. And we also understood how to insert, update, delete records, right? That's all.